I think one big misconception is that, at least in the United States, is that it's no longer a big problem. Last year, we had 1.1 million people around the world die of HIV and AIDS, or of AIDS-related complications. And so this is not a problem that is over at all. We spent quite a bit of time yesterday talking about emerging pandemics. This is one that is still very much with us and very much needing our innovation and our energy. But pairing with that is the fact that while we know it's not over, we do think it's possible to really turn the bend on this. We have had a lot of great advances over the last few years, including seeing the power of treatment in acting as prevention and in helping us to reduce incidence globally. So there's both a concern, I think, a misconception that it's over, and a misconception about the tools that we have to fight it.
So to underscore that, we have to testify many, many times before the Congress in the position that we're in the executive branch. And years ago, whenever we would get up, there would be a rather substantial proportion of questions asked about HIV/AIDS. For the last couple of years, in the testimonies that I've made, there has been anywhere from 0 to 1 question about it. And I think it's related to the issue that Jamila has brought up, is that there is this perception, which, Olga, is a misperception, that because we have life-saving therapies and we have treatment as prevention and we have pre-exposure prophylaxis, that these things are going to happen spontaneously. And as I've said very often, there is this misperception that if we just keep things going as they're going, things are going to attrit and go down. And they're not, because as I've said so many times, we have a major implementation gap in implementing the scientific advances that we've made. Nobody is going to argue with the breathtaking scientific advances, but what we have is a problem of implementing them globally and having the will to do it. And the perception is that, okay, we've taken care of HIV, let's just move on to something else. And in fact, getting back to the arena of congressional hearings, I was asked last year by a congressman at a budget hearing, wanting to say, you know, didn't we solve this problem? Why do you have to have so much money in AIDS? Why don't we just move it out into something else? Clearly reflecting this misperception that you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I'd certainly share absolutely the perspectives you've just heard. I think there is too much complacency. I think all evidence of previous infectious agents is that you become complacent at your peril. They have a powerful potential to spring back. This is by far and away the cleverest infectious agent we've ever tried to deal with, which is why it's so difficult to find a vaccine. I think there's a drift in, really as Tony's just made the point, I think around the world, other issues have crowded in areas like government and focus areas where you want resourcing. And honestly, as somebody who's just stepped down from running the world's biggest vaccine company, while I'm hopeful around vaccine, we are a long way away from being in the bank on a vaccine. And I think there is a little bit too much belief that we're much nearer to that than perhaps we are. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is not a trivial thing to vaccinate against.
Yeah.
Can you talk